Hi TJ, this is Karen. So we are at the bottling day. You may recognize this carboy is not the same as the carboy that we had it in a few days ago. We transferred the carboy, the beer that was in the carboy with the dry hopping, to a new carboy about 5 days ago because we wanted to just get things to clear up. So I just wanted to show you the carboy before we go through our steps of bottling. Of course, we have sanitized our bottling bucket, and all the things that will be touching our beer, which is what it is now. We have washed the bottles, and we washed them in the dishwasher because that has a nice high heat. And so the bottles are all ready to go. Right now I am boiling 2 cups of water, and I will be putting this priming sugar in there. You see, this stuff is now beer, and it's drinkable, but it's flat as can be, flat as Kansas. And so what we need to do in order to carbonate it is to add the priming sugar, and the beer will carbonate in the bottles. So we will keep the bottles out of refrigeration for the next 2 weeks. And then after the 2 weeks, they need to go in the refrigerator because there's no preservative in this. So I just wanted to give you a few preliminaries, and I'm going to set things up so that you can see what it's like to bottle. Talk to you later. Hi TJ. So I just used this bottle thief, as they call it, in the carboy to grab a sample, and I'm getting another gravity reading. So this is the hydrometer. This little thing in there is the hydrometer, and that is what gives us our specific gravity reading. So it's usually very hard to get a specific gravity reading when you're in the carboy. So that's why I need this thing called the thief. So
Not quite working.
it's not quite working. It's supposed to be centered in the middle,
But it's sticking.
but it's sticking to the side. But I'm going to get this reading, and then that will be our final gravity reading, and then I will use that to calculate the amount of alcohol that is in our brew. Okay, so that when I put the priming sugar in the bottle bucket and put this lovely brew in with the bottling bucket, there'll be a little more fermentation, but it's not going to be that much to make a difference in the alcohol content. So I'm going to fiddle with this to try to get it to center, but I will let you know what the final gravity is in a minute. Okay, TJ, I just boiled the 2 cups of water with and it's purified water, by the way, with the 3/4 cup of priming sugar, and I poured that into the bottling bucket. You might be able to see some of the steam coming off of it. It's done this way because that's the best way to distribute the sugar water throughout the beer, so that everything will carbonate properly. So now we're going to siphon the beer into the bottling bucket. So we just siphoned the beer from the carboy into the bottling bucket through the filter. Okay? And in a moment, we'll show you what it will do to bottle the beer. So I did take a final gravity reading, and it interestingly was the same as the midway gravity reading of 1.02. So I subtract the final gravity from the original gravity of 1.06, and I get 0.04. and that means 4% alcohol. So this will be a rather light sort of amber ale. So we'll see. So here's the bottling bucket. You'll recall that I put the sugar water in the very bottom. We siphoned the brew into the bucket, and that allows the sugar water to mix more thoroughly with the brew. And we are about to set up for bottling. We have attached a tube to this, and I will turn this very gently. And this valve right here will open up, and we will have beer flowing into the tube here. And this is an attachment. Can you hold this, Barry, please? This is a bottling tube, racking tube, and it has a stopcock at the end. So when I push that into the bottle, it will fill up the bottle, and when I lift it up, the flow will stop into these lovely bottles right here. Okay, and once we fill up the bottle to about where the neck begins, right? Yeah, Barry's pointing towards it. Then we will bottle cap it. This is the bottle capper, and these are the bottle caps right here. So the bottle cap will be fitted on the bottle like so, and then this will be put on top to crimp the bottle cap on there. So maybe we can get a shot of us doing this. It's a two-person operation, and I will try to get that set up for you, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how we bottle the beer.
You are.
Okay, TJ. Hi. We're going to start now. So, it can go very quickly, and so I'm probably going to stop midway and just shut this down, but shut down the tape.
You don't need to see us do 2 whole cases of bottles.
That. But, we'll at least do it for a few minutes so you see what we're doing. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to turn this valve on.
Pick up the bottle and put it up here.
I know. I was busy. There we go. All right. I try to be as neat as possible, but usually we get a little bit of drips on the bottle themselves, which is why I didn't put the labels on the bottle before I bottled the beer. And as I said, the carbonation is going to happen while in the bottles. So these bottles have to stay out at room temperature for about 2 weeks in order to get properly carbonated. But then after 2 weeks, they should be refrigerated because there are no preservatives in this beer. And it is not designed to be stored for a long time. It's meant to be drunk, although it will last. I've had homebrew last well over a year. So, and sometimes it gets even better as you let it bottle condition. Hopefully you can see Barry capping these. Now these caps have an oxygen barrier on them. They have a seal on the inside. And that helps prevent oxygen from getting in there, air. And oxygen can destroy the flavor of the beer. One note, with home brewing, it's good to use brown bottles as opposed to clear bottles or green bottles. I mean, green bottles you can use in a pinch, but really it's the brown bottles that are best because they protect from UV light. And UV light can really destroy the flavor of the brew. So we use brown bottles.
Recycle forever.
Yeah, which we recycle forever. I guess there's a point when bottles kind of go bad. But don't worry, you guys don't have to return the bottles to us.
But do recycle them.
But do recycle, yes. By all means, recycle. Now also, the bottles we use are the ones that have the caps that you have to take off with a bottle cap remover. We cannot use the twist off bottles. Those won't work because you don't get a good enough seal around the edge. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you want to ever attempt this yourself, you need to get the old-fashioned beer bottles. No twist-off cap bottles. Those won't do. Yeah. So I think we're going to have to come to a stop here. Bear, if you want to turn off the camera, that would probably be the easiest. If you can. That's all right. If you can.
Yep.